You never felt a sense of jealousy?
Let me think. No.
No.
No, I think they were always happy for me that I could do certain things, you know, and but I've never felt jealousy among them, no.
Do you feel that they're jealous of you now?
I wouldn't think so. I don't think so, no.
No. What's your relationship like with your family? Are you all close still?
I love my family very much. I wish I could see them a little more often than I do. But we understand because we're a show business family and we all work. We do have family day when we all get together. We'll pick a person's house. It might be Jermaine's house or Marlon's house or Tito's house. And everybody will come together and we'll fellowship and love each other and talk and catch up on who's doing what. And, you know.
You all aren't all upset about LaToya and LaToya's book and the things that LaToya has said about the family?
Well, I haven't read LaToya's book. I just know I love my sister dearly. I love LaToya, and I always will. And I always see her as the happy, loving LaToya that I remember growing up with. So I couldn't completely answer on that.
Do you feel that some of the things that she's been saying are true?
I couldn't answer, Oprah. Honestly, I haven't read the book. That's the honest truth.
So let's go back to when you were growing up and feeling all of this. Well, I guess it's a sense of anguish, I guess. So there was nobody for you to play with other than your brothers. You never had slumber parties. You never. Never.
No.
So I'm wondering, for you, being this cute little boy that everybody adored and everybody who comes up to you, they're, you know, pulling your cheeks and how cute, and this child prodigy, really, how adolescence affected you? Because I call, you know, adolescence going through that duck stage where everything's awkward, you know? And I'm wondering if, when you started to go through adolescence, having been, you know, this child superstar, did that have was that a particularly difficult time for you?
Very, very, very difficult.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I think every child star suffers through this period because you're not the cute and charming child that you were, and you start to grow. And they want to keep you young forever and little forever.
Who's they?
The public. And, you know, nature takes its course. And
it does.
And I had pimples so badly, and it made me so shy. I used to not look at myself. I'd wash my face in the dark. I wouldn't want to look in the mirror.
Really?
And my father teased me, and I just hated it. I cried every day because of it.
Your father would tease you about your pimples?
Yes, he would tell me I'm ugly.
Your father would say that?
Yes, he would. Sorry, Joseph.
Yeah. What's your relationship like with him?
I love my father, but I don't know him.
Are you angry with him for doing that? I think that's pretty cruel, actually.
Am I angry with him?
Because adolescence is hard enough without a parent telling you that you're ugly.
Yes, very difficult. Am I angry with him? Sometimes I do get angry, yes. I don't know him the way I'd like to know him. My mother's wonderful. To me, she's perfection. I just wish I could understand my father.
And so let's talk about these teen years. Is that when you started to go inside yourself? Because obviously you haven't spoken to to the world for, you know, 14 years, I think, is your last televised interview. So you went inside. You became a recluse, and that was on purpose. Was it to protect yourself?
I felt that there wasn't anything important for me to say. And those were very sad, sad years for me. And
why so sad? Because on stage we see you performing, you're getting your Grammys. Why so sad?
Oh, there's a lot of sadness about my past life and, you know, adolescence and my father and all of those things. It just made me very, very, very sad.
So he would tease you, make fun of you?
Yes.
Did he ever beat you?
Yes.
He did?
Yes.
And that was difficult to take, getting beaten and going on stage and performing?
Yes.
And why would he beat you?
Because he saw me, he wanted me to, I guess maybe, I don't know if I was his golden child or whatever it was. Some may call it a strict disciplinarian or whatever, but he was very strict, very hard, you know, very stern. And just a look would scare you, you know. And
were you scared of him?
very frightened. There's been times when he'd come to see me and I would get sick.
Really?
I'd start to regurgitate.
As a child or as an adult?
Both.
Both.
He's never heard me say this. I'm sorry, please don't be mad at me.
Well, I mean, I suppose that everybody has to take responsibility for what they've done in life. And your father is one of those people who also has to take responsibility.
But I do love him.
Yes, I understand.
And I am forgiving.
Yes.
You know, I don't go around
But can
with
you
the
really
chip.
forgive? I say this on my show all the time. Can you really forgive if you haven't gotten angry? If you haven't dealt with how you really feel? I don't know if you can go from having been abused to forgiveness.
I do forgive. There's so much garbage and so much trash that's written about me that is so untrue. They're complete lies. And those are some of the things I want to talk about. The press has made up so much god-awful, horrifying stories
I know.
that are completely appalling.
I know.
Completely appalling. And so far from the truth. And it's made me to realize the more often a person tell a lie, the more times you hear a lie, I mean, you begin to believe it. If it's told often enough, you start to believe it. And it's appalling the things that have been said about me, and they're completely false.
There are so many. I normally don't write questions down, but there's so many. I didn't want to forget them. First of all, I have been in this house getting lit and getting prepared for this, and I've been all over the house upstairs when you weren't looking for that oxygen chamber. I cannot find the oxygen chamber anywhere in the house.
That story is so crazy. I mean, it's one of those tabloid things. It was completely made up.
Okay, but there you are in something there. There's a picture of you.
Well,
where did that come from? How did it get started?
I did a commercial for Pepsi, and I was burned very badly. And we settled for like it was $1 million, and I gave all the money. We built this place called the Michael Jackson Burn Center, and that's a piece of technology that's used for burn victims, right?
That.
So I'm looking at the piece of technology, I'm touching it, feeling it, and decide to just go inside of it just to hammer around. Somebody takes a picture. When they process the picture, the person who processes the picture say, oh, Michael Jackson. He made a copy. These pictures went all over the world with this lie attached to it. It's a complete lie. Why do people buy these papers and it's not the truth? And I'm here to say, you know, do not judge a person. Do not pass judgment on anyone unless you have talked to them one-on-one. I don't care what the story is. Do not judge them because it's a lie.
But that story, you're right, that story, it was like it had legs.
It's crazy.
It is.
Why would I want to sleep in a chamber?
Well, the rumor was that you were sleeping in the chamber because you didn't want to grow old, and that was
stupid. It's stupid. It's completely made up, and I'm embarrassed. I'm willing to forgive the press and forgive anybody. You know, I was taught to love and to forgive, which I do have in my heart. But please, don't believe these crazy, horrifying
Okay, let's go down the list. Did you buy the Elephant Man's bones when you were trying to get them?
That's another stupid story. I love the story of the Elephant Man. It reminds me of me a lot. You know, I could relate to it. It made me cry because I saw myself in the story. But no, I never asked for the Elephant Man. Where am I going to put some bones?
I don't know.
And why would I want a pair of bones?
I don't know. So where did that come from?
Someone makes it up and everybody believes it. If you hear a lie often enough, you hear it enough, you start to believe it.
Yes, and people make money selling tabloids. All right. Just recently there was a story, and I know one of your attorneys held a news conference. There was a story about you wanting to have a little white boy play you in a Pepsi commercial.
That is so stupid. That's the most ridiculous, horrifying story I've ever heard. It's crazy. I mean, why? Number one, it's my face as a child in the commercial. Me when I was little. Why would I want a white child to play me? I'm a black American. I'm proud to be a black American. I am proud of my race. I am proud of who I am. I have a lot of pride in who I am and dignity. That's like you wanting an Oriental person to play you as a child. Does that make sense?
No.
So please, people, stop believing these horrifying stories.
Then let's go to the thing that is most discussed about you, I think, is the fact that the color of your skin is obviously different than it was when you were younger.
Yes.
And so I think it has caused a great deal of speculation and controversy as to what you have done or are doing. Are you bleaching your skin? And is your skin lighter because you don't like being black?
Okay, number one, There, as I know of, there is no such thing as skin bleaching. I have never seen it. I don't know what it is.
Well, they used to have those products growing up. I used to hear, always use bleach and glow, but you'd have to have about 300,000 gallons to...
Okay, number one, this is the situation. I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. It's something that I cannot help. Okay, but when people make up stories that I don't want to be who I am, it hurts me.
So it is.
It's a problem for me, okay? I can't control it, okay? But what about all the millions of people? Let's reverse it.
Okay.
What about all the millions of people who sit out in the sun to become darker, to become other than what they are? Nobody says nothing about that.
So when did this start? When did the color of your skin start to change?
Oh boy, sometime after Thriller, around Off the Wall Thriller, sometime
And what did you think? I mean,
It's in my family. My father said it's on his side. I can't control it. I don't understand. I mean, it makes me very sad. I don't want to go into my medical history because that's something that's private, but that's the situation here. So please, when people see something like that...
I just want to get this straight.
Yeah.
You are not taking anything to change the color of your skin?
Oh, God, no.
You did not purposely...
We're trying to control it, and using makeup evens it out because it makes blotches on the skin, and I have to even out my skin. But you know what's funny? Why is that so important? You know, that's not important to me. I'm a great fan of art. I love Michelangelo. If I had a chance to talk to him or read about him, I would want to know about what inspired him to become who he is, the anatomy of his craftsmanship, not about who he went out with last night, or why he decided to sit out in the sun so long. What's wrong with, I mean, that's what's important to me.
How much plastic surgery have you had?
Very, very little. You can count them on 2 fingers. I mean, let's say this. If you want to know about those things, all the nosy people in the world,
But once we say it, we don't have to say it anymore.
Read my book, Moonwalker. It's in my book. You know, let's just put it this way. If all the people in Hollywood who have had plastic surgery, if they went on vacation, there wouldn't be a person left in town.
I think you might be right.
I think I am right. I mean, be empty.
So did you start having plastic surgery because of those teen years, because of not liking the way you looked?
No, not really.
Not really?
No, it's only 2 things. Read it, get my book. It's no big deal.
Okay. You don't want to tell me what it is? You had your nose done, obviously.
Yeah, but so did a lot of people that I know.
Yeah. And so when you hear all these things about you, and there have been more than we
But
are
I've
even...
never had my cheekbones done, never had my eyes done, never had my lips done and all this stuff. They just go too far. I mean, it's crazy. But this is something that happens like every day with other people.
Are you pleased now with the way you look?
I'm never pleased with anything. I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah.
It's part of who I am.
And so when you look in the mirror now and the image that looks back at you, are there days when you say, well, I kind of like this, or I like my hair today, or
I'm never
I think
pleased
I'm
with
pretty
myself.
cute today?
No, I'm pretty cute today. No, I try not to look in the mirror. I really do, because I'm never happy with what I see. So I go on with my work and get it done.
I have to ask you this. So many mothers in my audience have said to please ask you this question.
Yeah.
Why do you always grab your crotch?
Why do I grab my crotch?
Yeah, why? We think you got a thing with your crotch going on here.
I think it happens subliminally. When I dance, if you're a dancer, you know, you're just interpreting the sounds and the accompaniment of the music. If there's a driving bass, you become the bass. If there's a cello, if there's a string, you become that. So you become the emotion of what that sound is, okay? So if I'm doing a movement and I go bam, and I grab myself, it's the music that compels me to do it. It's not saying I'm getting ready to grab down there and it's not a great place. You don't think about it, it just happens. Sometime I'll look back at the footage and I'll go, did I do that?
Yeah.
So I'm slave to the rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay?
I think the alarm's going off in the house. I don't know why. But we're going to fix it in a minute. We're in live television, so we're going to go to break. These things happen. We'll be right back.
Okay.
When you have broken all those records, when you have the #1 album ever sold, the #2 album ever sold, when you've broken every record there is to break, when you have become an icon in the industry, is there always the pressure to do something bigger and something better?
Oh, gee, that is something. It makes it harder each time to follow up. So you try to be as original as you can be without thinking about statistics. Just do go from the soul and from the heart.
Mm-hmm. And so when you think of that, what do? You go, you meditate, you think, well, I will now do the Super Bowl. I will now.
No. I just create out of my heart, really.
I want to tell everybody, too, since we're back and we're live, we weren't prepared for, and I know this house probably wasn't prepared for all the lights that are here. And what happened was that a smoke alarm went off from all the lights that are around, and that's what happened, and that's why we went to break. So I wanted to also make it clear, because this is another rumor that's starting, that the only way I could have gotten this interview was that I contractually agreed to call you the King of Pop. And I would just like to say to the world, Michael did not tell me to call him the King of Pop. As a matter of fact, I haven't called you the King of Pop once here. And I frankly think that the King of Pop is probably too limiting a title for you. I mean, I think that most of the world would agree that you're no doubt one of the greatest entertainers the world has ever seen. So you would be King of Entertainment, or Liz Taylor said you were King of Pop, Rock, and Soul. Where did this whole notion that you proclaimed yourself King of Pop come from?
Well, I didn't proclaim myself to be anything. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be who I am. King of Pop was first said by Elizabeth Taylor on one of the award shows.
As a matter of fact, we have that. Let's roll that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 1989 Heritage Award and Sammy Davis Jr. Award recipient, and in my estimation, the true king of pop, rock, and soul, Mr. Michael Jackson.
And that's where this all started?
Yes, and then fans, all the stadiums that we play, they bring big banners that say the King of Pop, and jackets that say the King of Pop, and T-shirts that say the King, and they chant it outside my hotel, King of Pop, King of Pop, King. So it just became something that just, you know, that happens all over the world.
Happened.
Yeah.
But you didn't tell me to call you King of Pop.
No.
No.
Why would I tell you to call me King?
I've been calling you Michael.
Yeah, I think the press loves to just start trouble like that. I mean, again, do not read the tabloids, please. It's crazy.
Do you go out? Do you date?
Yes.
Who do you date?
Well, right now it's Brooke Shields. That's, well, we try not to just be everywhere and go it's mostly at home. She'll come over, I'll go to her house, because I don't like going out in the public.
Have you ever been in love?
Yeah.
With Brooke Shields?
Yes, and another girl.
And another girl? I'm going to ask you this, and it's embarrassing for me to ask you this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Are you a virgin?
How could you ask me that question?
I just want to know. I want to know.
I'm a gentleman.
You're a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman.
So
I'm a gentleman.
So, okay, I would interpret that to mean that means that you believe that a lady is a lady, and therefore...
That's something that's private. I mean, you know, shouldn't be spoken about openly. You can call me old-fashioned if you want, but, you know, to me that's very personal.
So you're not going to answer it?
I'm embarrassed.
So you're not going to answer it. Well, we would like to know whether or not there is a possibility that you are going to marry one day and have children.
I would feel that my life isn't complete if I do not, because I adore the family life. I adore children, and I adore that whole thing. And I would love to. That's one of my dreams, but I couldn't right now because I'm married. I am married, but to my work. I'm married to my music. And it has to be that closeness in order to do the kind of work that I want to do. And
so what kind of woman makes you, I know in the video, wait a minute, no, in the video we're going to see later, we're premiering the world video, but you say there's a line where you talk about being quenched. So what kind of person does that for you?
Quench my desire.
Yeah, quench my desire.
Yeah. Well, Brooke, I've always liked her. And I mean, when I was little, I used to stay with Diana Ross. Me and my brothers, we stayed with her for years. And I never said this, I always had a crush on her.
You did?
Yes.
I heard, too, this was another one of those rumors, that you had proposed to Elizabeth Taylor at some point?
Elizabeth Taylor is gorgeous, beautiful, and she still is today. And I'm crazy about it.
Wow, wow. That's a great interview. And eye opener, or it makes people understand who really Michael Jackson was. Who was Michael Jackson, and what did the musician stand for? He's always known as the king of pop, and as many said, he he was very creative in the music industry and has never been matched until today. Now, Michael Jackson was accused of being or rather molesting children. And as he explains in the video, he has never done that and he didn't intend to do that. But the question that comes and the reason why I want us to dwell on this video is because of the question of racism and how it changed from being black to now an appearance that seems to be white. Now, so many people argued that Michael Jackson didn't want to be seen as a black, or rather, he hated the black color. So, as Michael explains, he has had a skin disease whereby he is losing the uh, pigment, the black pigment on the skin, and that's a situation that he has fought over time and even has made him to be shy in a way. If you can see Michael's most engagements, he's a shy and calm individual who doesn't want to be uh, open sometimes in so many instances. So he explains that he has been under medication, and that this situation, or uh, the skin problem, has been a great problem, or rather a predicament and a challenging situation for him throughout his time or life. So he is not racist. As he is explaining, he is not racist, and he loves black and black American. It's his blood. He loves black Americans, and he has never been racist before and doesn't want a situation where there is racial segregation. Now, let's see your comment on this topic, and also do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also like our video and share. Thank you, and may God bless you.